Blue and red lights flashed across my windshield like angry fireworks. There's nothing like coming home after a long day only to find your own street looking like the opening scene of a cop show. And right in the middle of it all, there's Karen, one hand on her hip, the other waving at the police cruiser, like she owns not just the block, but the whole zip code. Officer over here. Tow his car now, she's shouting, pointing dead at my tired gray sedan, parked right in front of my house by Lake Willow, the calm heart of our HOA. I swear in that moment my chest tightened up so hard I could hear my pulse in my ears. The cruiser rolled to a stop and this officer steps out all calm and steady, flicks on his flashlight even though the sun's just dipping low and everything's still gold and soft. Karen is in his face so fast she's tripping over her own words. He refuses to park where I told him he's blocking the aesthetic line. We have rules snap, 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 like she's placing a fast food order. But the cop raises his hand. Ma'am, one at a time. Then he turns to me. Sir, is this your vehicle? I nod. Yes, parked in front of my own house, not blocking anything, not a hydrant, not a driveway. I'm keeping my voice even, but my hands are shaking. I just got off work at the hardware store. My back's killing me. All I want is to sit with my wife Lily and our old dog Max, but Karen's got other plans. She shoves this printed paper at the officer. Read this. The HOA map shows approved curb zones. He has to park 3 houses down on Birch Circle near the mailbox cluster. It looks cleaner in photos. I told him. He refused. The officer looks at the paper, then scans the street. The lake behind us smells like fresh rain ducks sliding across the water. The whole neighborhood's peeking out their curtains, but the only thing not peaceful is the steam pouring from Karen's face. Then, as if the circus needed more clowns, a white HOA SUV pulls up. Mr. Thompson, the president, climbs out in his navy blazer. Ms. Rivera from compliance follows her leather binder stacked thick with tabs. Karen's smiling now like she just checkmated the world. You're welcome. I'm trying to keep the street beautiful. Lily slips out and grabs my hand, steady as a lighthouse. Just tell the truth and breathe, she whispers. Max whines at her feet. I feel the whole street leaning in, waiting. Ms. Rivera flips through her binder, calm as you please, as Karen huffs with her arms crossed and the sky turns the color of a peach. Finally, Rivera looks up. According to the official HOA rules, residents may park along the curb in front of their property as long as they're not blocking anything or street sweeping day. My heart jumps. Karen's smile twitches. There's nothing here that says he must park 3 houses down, Rivera adds. The cop looks at Karen. Ma'am, did he break any law? Karen's mouth opens, then closes. It's ugly. It ruins the look. I told him to move. The officer, not even blinking, says, Ma'am, telling a neighbor to move their car if it's legally parked is not a police matter. We don't enforce aesthetic lines. Thompson tries to step in. We take harmony seriously here, he says, but Karen cuts him off. Find them both. Find him for parking wrong, and the HOA for not doing its job. Get a tow truck here now. The cop raises his hand again, but Karen's on a roll. If you won't tow him, I'll call another department. I'm on the beautification committee. I have authority. Now the whole street's outside Mr. Harris holding a salad on the porch. Ms. Lee, leaning on her cane kids on scooters, stopped mid-roll. Rivera finally shuts her binder and faces Karen. Karen, you do not have authority to order anyone where to park if they are within the rules. You also cannot call police to enforce HOA preferences. Karen argues our Instagram page needs clean curb lines. I sent a layout to everyone. Rivera shrugs. You sent it, but the board never voted on it. The officer turns to me, hands me Karen's paper. You're free to keep your car where it is. Karen lets out this weird, tight little scream like a balloon losing air and mutters, You'll regret this. All of you. Thompson holds up his palm. Karen, that's enough. Rivera pulls a smaller booklet from her bag, HOA Conduct Rules. There's a rule about misuse of city services and harassment of neighbors. Her words hang in the air. Everyone waits. Because this wasn't just about a car. It was about respect, about how we treat the people who live one door away. Hours before I'd carried paint cans into the living room, Lily humming Max following me around, just a regular day. I parked out front because the garage was full of paint and drop cloths. Saw Karen measuring mailboxes with her clipboard. She glared at me like I was a bug. She knocked on my door, not even a hello, just, "You need to move your car." I said no, calm but annoyed. "I'm not blocking anything. The rules say I can park here." She leans in, lipstick sharp. "If you don't move it, I'll call the cops. Karen, we can talk to the board if you want, but the police won't tow a legal car." She storms off, phone out. I tell Lily I think Karen's having a bad day. Lily just smiles and says I'll move the car later if it'll help. But sometimes peace is worth more than pride. We went back to painting. Then came the siren. Not loud, just a chirp. We're here now. The officer talks to me, then Karen, then the HOA. Neighbors watching, some amused, some worried. The street feels like a stage. I remember my dad saying, "Be the steady one, son." Lakes look calm from far away because the water at the center doesn't fight the wind. I tried to be that center. When the officer handed me back the paper, Rivera opened her booklet. Calling police for non-emergencies, making false claims, and harassing neighbors are all violations under HOA conduct. Repeated misuse can lead to formal action and fines. A ripple goes through the crowd. Then, as if on cue, a tow truck pulls up, yellow lights flashing, driver looking confused. "I got a request to tow a gray sedan at this address and a report about a broken signpost from earlier. Same name on both." "Who's Karen Pierce?" he asks. The whole street stares at Karen, whose face goes white. The officer asks, "Ma'am, did you call this truck?" Karen stammers, "I called to report a parking violation. The sign is a separate matter." The driver frowns. Both requests, same name. 10 minutes apart, the board exchanges whispers. Rivera says, "Karen will check the gate camera. The board installed a new one last month, faces the entrance." Karen's voice wavers. "I know the rules I'm on." Beautification. The officer cuts her off. That's different from ordering police or tow trucks, which you're not authorized to do. Finally, the HOA issues her a citation for misuse and harassment, $150, and an administrative fee. Some neighbors look shocked. Karen shakes, says, "You can't do this to me. I'm the one trying to make this place better." Rivera says caring doesn't give us permission to hurt people. The rules are for everyone, even the people who love rules. Karen grabs the citation, muttering she'll appeal, then stomps home, door slamming. The street relaxes. Lily tells me she's proud I stayed calm. Rivera apologizes for the show, then asks if I'll join the neighborhood committee. "We need more peacemakers," she says. "Me." I blink. People listen to steady. She smiles. But calm never sticks around for long. That night we get a surprise knock, an auditor from HOA. "There's an emergency complaint. You're building an unapproved structure in your garage." I blink. Lily says, "Is this normal, given an emergency complaint?" "Yes," Diane, the auditor, replies. She checks our shelves, our paint cans. "No violation," she says. Outside, Karen waits in the street, arms folded. "You're making me the bad guy," she accuses. "That's not our goal," I tell her. "We just want peace." She laughs bitter. Peace is what people say when they want to win without a fight. Then she storms off. Next morning, I find the word "move" scratched into my car. Chalk lines, but also grooves in the paint. I call the police, file a report, send pictures to the HOA. Karen across the street asks almost sweetly, "What happened?" I say. "We're finding out. We'll handle it the right way." She gives a thin smile. "See you at the hearing." The HOA calls a hearing. Karen appeals her citation and files a behavioral complaint against me. Hostile environment, she claims, because I wouldn't obey her beautification plan. The hearing feels like a town trial. Neighbors, the board, even Ms. Lee with her old lady wisdom. Karen gives her speech about caring about lines on the street. I say I want beauty, but I want respect and calm too, not cops or threats over a legal parking spot. Suddenly, Karen's teenage son Tyler bursts in. It's the gate camera, they posted it on the app. Mom, it's you. It shows your SUV hitting the sign. The room goes dead quiet. Karen tries to deny it, but Tyler cracks, I was in the passenger seat. You told me not to say anything. Karen's walls crumble. I was protecting this community, she pleads. But Mr. Thompson says, covering up an accident, then blaming others isn't caring, that's fear. Tyler just looks tired. She made neat her shield. The truth shakes the neighborhood. People pour outside, voices rising, some angry, some tired. Ms. Lee taps her cane, makes everyone listen. We have two choices, break each other or mend each other. The board imposes a cooling off period, 2 weeks, no direct contact. That night, a fake flyer demanding new parking rules appears on everyone's porch. It's obviously Karen, and by morning, the HOA app blasts out an alert, disregard these flyers, not official. That night, Karen knocks on my door. She admits she put out the flyers. She felt powerless and cornered. I am sorry, she says. The apology is jagged but real. We say thank you, and when Tyler nearly drowns at the lake dock, it's all hands on deck. I pull him free with Lily and Karen just as an electrical wire falls into the water and sparks fly. The dock almost collapses, paramedics rushing in, neighbors crowding, and the board discovers the breaker box was tampered with. Someone tried to make trouble. Weeks pass. Final hearing, the board finds Karen guilty of misuse, harassment, and lying about the sign, but the sabotage wasn't her. She's suspended from committees, fined, but not exiled. We rebuild with our own, Mr. Thompson says. As neighbors file out, Karen thanks me not for defending her, but for not giving up on her. Bring muffins to cleanup day, someone calls. Blueberry Ms. Lee laughs, and for the first time in weeks, it feels like the street is breathing again. That's the story of Karen, the fines, the lies, and the spark that almost burned us all down, but ended with a shot at peace. And before I close this chapter, tell me, where are you watching from? Have you ever seen a neighbor become a villain and then get a second chance? Let's talk about what real justice looks like, what kindness costs, and how a street finds its way home again. Drop a comment below.